Konnichiwa, minasan. Welcome back to rainy Nozawa Onsen, Japan. I thought I would take the chance and let's have a discussion about Akiya and everything I've learned over the past few years so you don't have to do all the research. Let's go. In this video, I'll talk about what an Akiya is, what I've learned along the way, my step-by-step experiences in purchasing a Japanese vacant house, and I'll also provide some links that can help you find your own little slice of paradise. So, Akiya. In 2020, it was estimated that there were somewhere between 8 and 10 million vacant houses in Japan, stemming from a double-edged population crisis, with an aging population on one side and a low birth rate on the other. As a friend near me said, if you look at the grocery store, there are more adult diapers than there are infant diapers. This is felt particularly hard in the countryside, leading to depopulation at a multiplier effect, as in addition to people passing away and leaving their houses empty, families also move away not only for job prospects, but also for close access to services like education, which are closing in the countryside due to the diminishing number of children close by which would be needed to keep them open. It's an ongoing and massive challenge. To dive into what an Akiya bank is, it's important to note that it is not a bank in the financial sense. It is more of a data bank or a database of vacant and abandoned houses throughout Japan. These are run by the local municipalities, with each one operating how the local bureaucracy sees fit to manage these assets. All Akiya are managed differently. There isn't a multiple listing service for real estate where listings are compiled and made available with clean, clear processes. They are not run by real estate professionals, although at times they work closely with them. Akiya are managed by bureaucrats who are city or provincial workers, and they have local and regional processes that need to be followed. As a word of warning, the process can be daunting. Get ready to print, sign, stamp in triplicate, and hope that it all works out. This is why I always recommend to my friends who want to buy an Akiya, they decide on a region first where they want to live, visit the area, get to know people, and then begin dotting the I's and crossing the T's, or in this case, signing the hiragana and katakana. Foreigners are allowed to purchase houses through the Akiya bank, or directly via real estate agents. But, based upon my experience, the entire process will be in Japanese. It is Japan after all, and official transactions go through the official language. The use of a good translator is key. I personally used a combination of Google Translate and then a second cross-translation by DeepL. I did this to make sure that nothing was lost in translation. I often had to go back and forth rewriting my emails many times to ensure that I got the correct message across. All communication for my house purchase was by email. In Japan, they don't use WhatsApp as much as other Asian countries, preferring email and fax machine to send official documents. Yes, fax machine is still very common, and you can find one at any and all 7-Elevens or Lawson supermarkets. Some Akiya banks are almost like a club, and you have to be accepted into the Brotherhood of Akiya. I'm just kidding about the brotherhood part, but sometimes it is necessary to submit an official application form, possibly electronically, but most likely signed and in person, which can go as high as the mayor, where you state your intentions and your desire to be admitted to the Akiya club of the municipality. Entering the Akiya club also means that you have to play by club rules. Just because you want to buy the vacant house doesn't mean that they're going to sell it to you. Please remember that the whole idea behind the Akiya bank and their local management is to bring people into areas currently facing an aging population and depopulation. The idea here is for residency. Priority may be given to young people or people with kids. The Akiya banks are there to save their communities and may turn down offers if an individual is not immediately moving to the area or if they're not a current resident of Japan. It is a bit of a catch-22 in that the houses are there, the village needs people, but if the houses aren't filled and taken care of, then the houses will continue to degrade over time and at some point be beyond saving and will never have somebody living in them. Please don't be dissuaded. Finding your own Akiya is possible. There are a few modern and accessible Akiya bank websites online where it is possible to view listings, see the price details, see how long the house has been vacant, and find a way to contact the Akiya representative. Trying to be delicate here, Japanese websites rarely correspond well with Western web design styles. They're generally quite bad. The pictures rarely do the house justice. At times the sites don't translate or the web forms don't work, amongst a litany of other issues. All I can say is gambate, or good luck, and keep at it. Keep trying and searching. You will find something. I'll attach in the video description a couple of the links to Akiya websites I like, primarily Lilful Homes, or my favorite, which I still occasionally drift past just to see prices and see what's out there, is At Home. So athome.co.jp/Tochi. Of course, I'm not affiliated with these in any way. These sites allow you to search by prefecture and then by city. They provide price, location, how to get there by public transit or traffic conditions, the land area, and any building conditions. There are tons of listings, so it's really important to be specific of where you want to be and then be picky. I have just now come across another website called Zero Estate, which offers houses for free, but I haven't really gone into it, so take it as is. I assume here the houses are in really rough shape or come with very strong purchasing conditions. This brings up another point. The quality of the houses can vary greatly. Some are move-in ready, which is rare and often comes at a high price point. Others are in need of little love, including cleaning and waste disposal or small renovations. Others still are near the point of falling down or are in need of demolition. Just because it is an Akiya doesn't mean that the house is going to be free. While I have seen some listed for free, I have seen others listed for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's important to do research and understand what you're getting into. Have building inspections done, check for termites or whether the house is in a zone prone to flooding or landslides. It's also important to see if past taxes are due. Due diligence is still necessary. Or you just take on the total risk of the house and everything it comes with, understanding that there is no liability to go back towards the previous owner. It is a vacant or abandoned house, and abandoned in the legal sense of that of liability. You may still be purchasing it from the family of the previous owner, but you will be on the hook if there are any issues. To mitigate these challenges, there are third-party agents that can help you, either real estate agents or pay-to-play subscriptions-based services, which do the hard work of finding Akiya and help to bridge the language and internet capability barriers. I personally like Cheap Houses Japan, which gives a bunch of listings in a weekly newsletter. They are also on Instagram, and it's fun to follow along to see what's on the market and find new regions of Japan which I've yet to visit. When you do find something online, it is important to act quickly and express interest. Purchasing a house in Japan is a first past the post system where the first person to express interest will be the sole negotiator with the owner until negotiations break down, an offer is withdrawn, to then go to the second person on the list or the second person who made contact. It's not a bidding war system. When listings do end up online, they often sell very quick, or in this sense get reserved very quick, to then have timely negotiation and handover. It is possible at this time, as part of the negotiations, to organize site visits and building inspections, if the Akiya bank allows it, of course. So express first, inspect second, then decide. My experience when purchasing my house was that I was introduced to the Akiya bank through a friend who kindly submitted my application on my behalf in person at City Hall. After acceptance, I would receive emails about houses coming online for purchase. I should say email singular, in that in the 6 months I was on the Akiya bank mailing list, I believe there was only one listing before mine. Luckily, I kept good contact with my friend who let me know what was going on in the village. I knew in advance that my house would be listed thanks to the local grapevine. When the email finally came, I expressed interest within minutes. The Akiya bank confirmed my expression of interest in first position, later facilitated a viewing with my friend and his GoPro, and after my confirmation of intent to purchase, I was put in contact with the real estate agent who was handling the house and the estate of the previous owner. From that point on, I was removed from the Akiya bank mailing list. With my new point of contact in hand, I worked with the real estate agent. I expressed my intent to purchase and made an offer by email. He told the previous owner's brother the price I wished to pay, and upon his agreement, we entered into the sale. Over the months that followed, we communicated back and forth. I sent notarized documents. The brother had the spirit removed from the house, and I transferred the final house payment as well as the real estate fees. After that, the house was mine. Real estate fees aren't too bad in Japan, so don't worry. The minimum fee is 60,000 yen, or about $450 US, And then it works on a stepwise basis. 5% of the sale price up until the first 2 million yen, 4% of the sale price for the next 2 million, and then 3% for anything above this. As a foreigner purchasing the house, there may be other fees, such as going through a Japanese scrivener or notary, and any translation services you may need. There are also provincial registration taxes. In Nagano, it's about 60,000 yen, and it's a one-time payment to register the house. With Akiya, because you accept the house as abandoned of legal rights, the purchaser covers the total real estate fees. For those planning on investing in Akiya, looking at the cheap price and thinking it's an excellent way to enter into the property market, I say, proceed with caution, but you do you. These properties come at a comparatively low price and often with financial incentives and subsidies to bring people into a community and to live there. House purchases often come with community responsibilities, so plan to make the trips to maintain your property and also help out around the village any way you can. Get dirty and enjoy cleaning out the ditches side by side with your neighbors. Also remember that Japan has a 40% capital gains tax, so don't plan on flipping them for a big profit right away unless you're fine with giving a big chunk to the tax man. If you are renovating and building, I would say to find a way to bill your time and also keep all receipts, as I understand that this could be deducted from the taxable burden. So I think that's probably enough about Akiya for now. Anyways, I hope that this has been informative and a bit helpful. If you have any questions, write it down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. And yeah, have a good one. Cheers.